Steve Harvey is the epitome of a bootlick sellout and a traitor to the Black community. He only has his interests in mind when he tells you to vote for Kamala Harris, for giving in to the pressures of his overseers for him to return to the plantation. Steve Harvey was offered a huge opportunity to help the Black community by no other than President Trump when he was first elected. Even before Donald Trump was sworn into office, he asked Steve Harvey to come to Mar-a-Lago to discuss what was needed in the Black community. When Steve Harvey left the meeting with Donald Trump, he spoke directly to reporters, and he had nothing but good things to say about the meeting, what was discussed, and he said that he believed Donald Trump was sincere in his plan for the Black community. And this is what Steve Harvey had to say.
Did you want to work on a TV show with him, sir?
Oh, no. I was invited here by both transition teams, Obama's transition team and Trump's transition team. And it was really a really cool meeting in the beginning. We talked a lot about golf and things like that, and people we knew and people in common. And then we got down to the crux of it. He's introduced me to Ben Carson, who's now the new head of housing for urban development. And we're going to team up and see if we can bring about some positive change in the inner cities, which I felt was my only agenda, and he agreed, and he wants to do something. And he realizes that he needs some allies in that department, and he seemed really sincere about it. I mean,
Chicago being one.
Chicago is definitely one. Another one they want to start with as a target is Detroit. Ben Carson expressed that, because quite naturally he's from Detroit. I want to do some things with all of the major inner cities to see if we can bring about some change and help some of these young people out. And so that's why I'm here, and it was a successful meeting, and he seemed really sincere.
Now keep in mind that when Donald Trump won the presidency, he won without the Black vote. And he could have easily said, well, they didn't vote for me, so I'll be sure to do nothing for them. You know, like what the Democrats do. But that's not what Donald Trump did. He actually had a plan to improve the Black community.
I said, well, there's really nothing I want you to do for me. I said, I want to do something for you. And he said, President Trump said, you want to help me? I said, yeah. I said, if you've appointed Dr. Ben Carson the head of HUD, and I would like to help him because I don't think he has the celebrity or the name notoriety to get to these inner cities. I've been in inner cities my whole life. I got the key to 32 cities. I've been stand up a long time. I said, I can help him with some of these urban situations because I'm from there, and I want to do something to help him. He said, so what do you want to do? I said, well, I have a mentoring program, but my mentoring program is restrictive because I can only do about 1,000 boys, and I can do them only one time a year in each city. I want to create vision centers around the country where I can take these schools that you're closing in the inner cities, take HUD funds, put it with them, and then go in and refurbish these schools and buildings and turn them into a place where boys and girls can come and learn life skills, and parents can come and learn financial skills, literacy skills to make it. And then eventually, I would like to build vision homes around it to help support these communities so we have wonderful community. I want people who are less fortunate to have a better way of life. He said, I like that. Let me get Ben Carson on the phone right now. I kid you not. In 2 minutes, he had Ben Carson on the phone. He put Ben Carson on the phone, and he and I started talking, and I introduced the concept to him of vision homes right there in the office. He said it's a done deal. He's going to make America great again. Let's go, Donald Trump.
But when the Democrats heard of Trump's plan They sent their shills out to play on the emotions of black people, and they attacked Steve Harvey relentlessly until he gave in to the pressure.
The problem I had was, after the meeting was over, I was supposed to go downstairs by myself and go on over to the rope and address the media. President Trump said, Steve, I'm gonna go down with you. All right. We get off the elevator, we walk up to the rope, all the cameras is on, and first thing he said, what we're gonna do first thing in this office is replace and repeal Obamacare. I'm standing there, I went, look at the tape. Go back and look at the tape and look at Steve's face.
Everybody knows Steve Harvey. Everyone having fun? You having fun? Sure. Steve just came up to say hello. Steve?
Mr. Trump, can I ask you, sir, how concerned are you some of your cabinet nominees are speaking on Capitol Hill on issues like Russia, Iran, the border wall, and because some of their statements conflict with some of what you have said in the past?
No, that all gets straightened out. We want them to be themselves, and I told them, be yourselves and say what you want to say. Don't worry about me. And I'm going to do the right thing, whatever it is. I may be right, and they may be right. But I said, be yourselves. What do you say, Steve? Let them do it. I could have said, do this, say that. I don't want that. I want them all to be themselves.
Okay, and on repeal,
everybody okay?
Sir,
everybody
on
good?
repeal and replace.
Thank you. Thank you. Say hello to Harvey. Repeal and replace is going great.
Sir, Mr. Trump.
I mean, that's not what we said upstairs. But I was stirring, and I'm sitting here going like I'm supporting this here. I ain't said nothing like that.
Trump didn't have to discuss appealing Obamacare with Steve. That's not why he was invited to meet with him. Steve Harvey did give up and give in to the pressures of emotional black people and the Democratic shills who drugged Steve back to the plantation.
Steve and I have always been very close. And I think the Trump diatribe I went on Instagram led people to believe that I felt a way I didn't. I've always loved Steve. He's my brother to me. I despise Trump, and I despise Trump because he uses black people as props. Mm-hmm. And my argument and my verbal attack was on Trump's seemingly endless ability to use black people as props. I don't care if it's Kanye or Jim Brown or you know, any number of people that he uses. He uses them as props and then discards them. I don't care if you're black preachers, John Gray and those cats. And I just think that I've never seen a black person be involved with him and then come out unscathed without being tainted by his bullshit. And I just hated that happened to Steve. So I know him personally, and I know him intimately, and I understand who he is. I just hated his interaction with Donald Trump.
I mean, did you guys address the Trump thing
Sure.
on the show? Okay, and what did he say?
He just said he wouldn't have done it again. He thought he was going to do good.
Yeah. Well, at least Steve was man enough to actually admit that he made a mistake.
He did.
Most people wouldn't do that.
Most
people just keep riding it out.
He did. And then you'll get fired and embarrassed. I think we live in a time where we have ceded our ability to call it like we see it and to be genuinely repentant without having to be forced to.
So let's get this straight. Steve Harvey shouldn't speak with Donald Trump, the President of the United States, because DL Hughley doesn't like him. Did I hear this correctly? So as it turned out, although there are many sinners around the country, the vision that Steve Harvey had is different than what actually manifested. But how did Steve Harvey go from praising Donald Trump to attacking him and falling in line after his fellow slave masters had a conversation with him? Now you see him on stage with Kamala Harris, who offers the black community absolutely nothing. Kamala Harris said she's not doing anything for black people only, and she has kept her word.
Well, how are you, Madam Vice President?
I am very well, Mr. Harvey.
You've been
How
pretty
you doing?
busy.
Yeah, I'm in these streets.
Before y'all start calling my radio show and DMing me, talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions, that ain't what this is. I'm throwing a lob. This is an alley-oop for a dunk, because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing, so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House. You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is.
If the Democratic Party can't do anything just for black people, why did y'all pass a law only for Asians? Why did y'all pass a law only for Native Americans? Why did y'all pass a law only for transgenders? Why did y'all pass a law only for LGBTQs? Why did y'all pass a law only for immigrants? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country from whose benefit no other group can take anything from?
So now this next question is another lob for her to dunk. Because they done a lot, man. But we see, I'm on this radio show and I'm hearing all these people talking about, I'm not voting if they not doing nothing for us. Listen to me. If you do not vote, the analytics will show, they know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't vote, how we gonna ask for something next time? If you ain't got no voting power, you talking about reparations. Ain't nobody finna give you no reparations and you don't vote. Oh, why you think they finna give us some money? No how, man. I hope they do. They owe us. This administration has done so many things that can affect our community. They just can't label it black.
Just think of where the black communities, like Chicago and Detroit, would be if Steve Harvey wasn't so willing to be led back to the Democratic plantation. The idea he had was very impressive, and I believe the vision centers would have made a huge difference and may have even saved a few lives. And it's very telling that not only is the Democratic Party committed to doing nothing for black people, they don't want Republicans doing anything for black people either. That is why DL Hughley and the other paid puppets attacked Steve Harvey for meeting with Trump. Then once the media got black people emotional, they went against their own interests with their attacks against Steve Harvey. That then opened the door for Steve Harvey to do what was easy, and that is to head back to the plantation and stop upsetting NASA. That way he can be rewarded with a paycheck and TV shows. And he'll work hard to rein in the other escaped black people. Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, Ricky Smiles, Plies, Roland Martin, Jamil Hill, Joy Reid, Simone Sanders, are all willing to sell their souls to the Democratic Party. So why would they hesitate to throw the black community to the wolves, especially if it means more scraps for them?